Hello and welcome to X4. This is very exciting. I'm a big fan of the X series. I haven't played a proper X game, I think since X2. If you don't know, the games are made by a German developer called Egosoft, who since, I think, 1998 or 99 have only made X games. So this is very much their bread and butter. It's an open world space game in the same sort of vein as Elite Dangerous, or the original Elites if you want to be particularly old school about it. Yeah, I don't really know exactly how to compare the two. I saw someone talking about the two in a video quite recently. And, oh, the shutters are going down. We're going to get another vista to look at. Beautiful. And the way they said it is that Elite felt quite separate. Like the different game functions, like the mining or the combat or the trading, felt like very separate entities, whereas X4 feels a lot more complete than that. The game is currently part of the Steam sale, so if you want to check it out, I think it's like £11 or £12 for the base game, and that's an insane deal, to be honest. If you're into these sort of games, you could easily sink 1,000 hours into it. I was going to say without thinking too much, but, you know, after a long time. But yeah, it's one of those games where you can spend a lot of time playing it. I should say a massive thank you to Chica, who originally gifted me the base game a few years back now, and also a massive thank you to Egosoft, who also provided me with a key for the Community of Planets edition. Had to think what it was called. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, which is the base game and all the DLCs. There are a number of DLCs for the game which do add certain little areas and other stuff. I don't know exactly what, but they do add things to the game. But the good thing about Egosoft is when they release a piece of DLC, they tend to also release a major update for the base game. So any new sort of general functionality is carried across to the base game. You don't need to own the DLCs to get those. So right now, £12, the game has just released a new DLC called Timelines, which I think has been a little bit underwhelming for fans of the game, but we can talk about that in a moment. But they also released a major update for the base game, so it's now on version 7.0, as you can see at the top there above the menu, and which released a whole slew of updates and new tutorials and all sorts of things like that. So, good stuff. So what can you do in Elite Dangerous? In X4. No, I haven't played Elite Dangerous for many years either. Like before they did the rovers and the planet-side landing and stuff. So it's been quite a while. So I don't know if this is something that was brought into Elite Dangerous since. But one thing that you've always been able to do in the X games is own complete production chains. So what I mean by that is you can have a fleet of ships that go off doing mining. They can then take the ore they have mined to a refinery that you own. That refinery can chuck out refined metals or goods or whatever it is that you're bringing to it. They can then use your own ships to then take those goods to other factories who produce component parts. You own those factories. Other ships can take those component parts to a shipyard which you also own, and it can produce ships for you. So you can really own massive, huge trade economic empires in this. Obviously there's also combat in it as well. You can have like huge defensive stations set up to ward off threats, and the entire economy is persistent and what's the word I'm looking for here, live, I guess, by which I mean it's not doing things in the background to figure out if a ship would have carried something from station A to station B. The ships are actually moving around in real time, and it's also dynamic. That's a good word to use. So it could be that you play a game and you set up in a certain area and everything's hunky-dory, and you do some initial trading in the game, going between a couple of stations, blah, blah, blah. And it could be you do exactly the same game start again and try to do the same thing, but this time one of the alien factions decides to rock up to this sector and just blow everything up in it, and all the factories are gone. You don't know. You don't really know what's going to happen. That's one of the very interesting things about the game. There is a story and lore behind the X series. I haven't been into it long enough to remember all of that. I know there was, so they used jump gates to move between different systems rather than a direct ship form of travel. And I know at one point in the X series, the jump gates were all disabled and broken, and then they did a sort of like a reboot situation, which was, I think, was between like X2 and 3 maybe, or shortly after X3. I can't quite remember. They also did a VR game as well, which I think was based on the X3. I was really excited about it when they announced it, and then it was like you could only ever have one ship, which kind of like just destroyed the whole purpose behind an X VR game for me, so I never actually really played it. I don't think I played it at all. I played a lot of Elite Dangerous in VR, which was a lot of fun. As I said, haven't gone back to that for some time. So this is one of these games where it's quite difficult to think about how I might do a video for it. There is sound in the game, by the way. There's just no background music, and that's why it's silent at the moment. Because I can do like my initial sort of first look, which tends to be the first hour of the game. But honestly, it might be that nothing really happens all that much in the first hour, because it's one of these games where you need to invest a lot of time into it. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new open universe game and probably play for like 3 to 4 hours and then cut down like an hour video out of that. That's my plan. We'll see how that goes. You can see there are a number of options on the left here for things you can do. So there's tutorials. I have gone through the basic tutorials and the intermediate tutorials, because those are the things which I think are going to have the most direct impact on sort of early to mid game. You can see there are some advanced tutorials with some advanced flying mechanics and also station building and station management. It's going to take us quite some time until we got to the point where we could start thinking about building stations, so I decided not to go and worry about those all that much. But I have done all of these, and it did take, I don't know, an hour or two just to get through those, and I've probably forgotten 90% of it, which is going to be hilarious when we get through to it. You can see Timelines is here, so Timelines is recommended for new players after playing the basic tutorials. But what Timelines is, you can see there is its self-contained game scenarios. So it's not within the live persistent universe. It's standalone missions set within various parts of the past, essentially. Like, well, that's why it's called Timelines. And you can unlock some things for it. I saw someone saying you can unlock like old style X2 or X3 ships into the X4 universe. I don't know exactly how that works, whether they just become something you own, or whether, oh, it's reloaded the background and it's just a beautiful vista with no ships there. Or whether they are then just available for purchase in the game, I'm not too sure. But I know that people are a little bit disappointed with that, just because I think mainly it's completely self-contained, which sort of, like I mentioned before, goes against the sort of X ethos of having an open universe or open galaxy game. Where you can do whatever you want. So that's what Timelines is. It does say it's recommended for new players, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go into an open universe game. And within this, you can see there are a number of different starts you can have. Now, I had a little bit of a look. I don't know why some of them are grayed out. I don't know why they're grayed out. Oh, I need to acquire a mysterious installation. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to worry about that. So there are a number of game starts. You can see Foundations is the base game, so that's the initial launch that came out. So these are the ones you can pick for that. The Split Vendetta, Cradle of Humanity, Tides of Avarice, Kingdom End, those are all DLCs that come out afterwards. If you just buy the base game, you just have access to these ones. And the ones with the stars are the ones that is recommended for new players. So if we click on this one here, you can see that it says somewhere, yep, game start is guided. Some of them don't do that. This one is just assisted, so I guess it's sort of the step down from guided. And other ones are, if we can find one, assist. I'm sure others are sandbox. There we go. So they are just, there's no guidance, there's no assistance. You're just thrown into it, figure out for yourself, sort of thing. So there are a couple that are recommended for new players. Young Guns seems to come up quite a lot, but that is a sandbox start. That is one that people tend to suggest quite a lot. And I think the Terran Cadet is the other one that people say is pretty good. It's pretty good at holding your hand a little bit through the early start, and also some of the rewards you get for it are not game-breaking rewards that are going to immediately just give you, like, you know, billions of credits and you can just go off and do what you like, but it will just give you a good way of starting the game and getting to grips with some of the mechanics and everything. But as you can see down the bottom here, you can just do your own custom game. You can do whatever you want. So I've seen some people say that what they do when they start a game is it's entirely possible to start a game with 0 credits and no ship. You're just floating in space in a spacesuit, and the whole first bit of the game is just being lucky enough to either have enough oxygen to travel to a station or latch onto a passing ship and starting from literally nothing, which is just crazy. It's crazy. Beautiful little combat vista in the background there. This is one of the alien factions, but like I said, I can't quite remember what they all are at the moment, but I'm sure we'll figure out as we go. So we're going to do Terran Cadets. I've been waffling on for like 10 minutes now. We're going to hit start game. Our name is Raibu Huracan. We are Terran. We are male, and we are located around Mars. We get a Kukri fighter as a starting ship with 15,000 credits. There are other races in the game, as I mentioned. You probably saw one of them in a click down on the split Vendetta ones. So these are split. These ones are not recommended for new players at all. I guess it's quite a struggle to start with. We do only start with 5,000 credits on that one and 15,000 on that one. There are other races as well. There are Argon, which isn't necessarily another race. It's like another branch of humanity that is, I guess, against the Terrans, or at least don't want to be associated with them. Borons, you can see there. I'm sure there are others. Oh, there we go. There's another one. Teladi, the three-eyed ones as well. So anyway, Terran Cadet, Raibu Hurricane. Let's start the game and see how we go.
Ever since
so
I can remember, I have dreamt of seeing Earth, humble origin of our species.
That seems very quiet to me. I don't know how quiet that's going to be in post, so that's going to be interesting.
In the far orbits around Titan, the core of the solar system remains, according to Protectorate policy, beyond my reach.
You're in Mars. That's pretty core, isn't it?
Until I have made a name for myself. Having recently graduated from cadet school, I aim to do just that.
In the background there, it's just refreshed a little mine in Vista, it looks like. You would make a ship sail against the winds and currents by lighting a bonfire under her deck. I have no time for such nonsense, said Napoleon Bonaparte. So yeah, so I'll probably show you, I mean, my plan is, as I said, to play like several hours of the game and then just sort of bring you into little interesting moments that happen. That might just be me thinking of it in a less hand-holdy start to the game. Maybe the game's going to show us some really interesting stuff in the first hour and we're not going to, and I'm going to keep you involved for all of it sort of thing. I don't really know.
Tell me again why we're stuck with maintenance duty in Mars of all places.
Because you're cadets. The flight school has already taught you the basics of space flight. To learn about missions and other activities, open tutorials and help. Yes, we already know the basics of space flight, so that's helpful. I will talk you through some of the basic controls as we're going as well, in case you are a new player looking to get into it. So we need to approach a barely adequate satellite. So, as you can see, I'm moving my mouse around the screen. Nothing's moving. You can hold down left mouse button, and you can drag your ship around in this manner. WASD strafe, although you can't really see from there. If you come out into this, you know, yeah, there we go. Yeah, you can strafe. There we go. Q and E roll. And if you want to go forwards or backwards, it's your mouse wheel. So mouse wheel forward increases your speed, mouse wheel down decreases it or goes back into reverse. You can also hit backspace to come to a complete stop. So if we go forward a little bit, backspace to a complete stop. And if you want to just go straight to full speed, if you press tab, tab is your boost button. So just tapping it just immediately accelerates you up to top speed anyway. If we go back into our ship, so the F buttons control your cameras, by the way. So F1 is cockpit, F2 is your external, and we can also use the numpad to use what they call a camera drone to spin around our ship like that. And in the cockpit, the num keys will look around the cockpit. Very empty cockpit we have here. There's not a lot going on at all, is there? Interesting. Cool. Other things to note, if you press shift and space, it enables steering mode, so your mouse is locked into a steering mode, and you have to press shift and space to come out of it again. And then control and space turns off the flight assistance, which basically means, I think, that if we accelerate up a little bit and then spin the ship, we'll essentially be drifting more, whereas the flight assist, if we turn it back on, will always try to keep you moving in the direction you're facing. Right, let's head over to this satellite. If we click on it, gives us a little bit more information. It is a Terran Proctorate satellite. We are friendly with them, and it is 1 kilometer away. Let's boost and then hit insert rather than backspace, so I went straight past it. There's our little buddy over there, look.
Empty space.
There's an inconspicuous satellite over here.
Seriously, we're already 3 months out of cadet school and they still fob us off with housekeeping jobs. We should be out there with intervention, saving the universe.
It's very inconspicuous. I couldn't even see it.
Missing.
I was okay.
What is it?
That is very inconspicuous.
Mission command says to just deploy a new one. See? They don't even care.
They don't even care. Just a satellite went missing. So there are a number of stations around here. We don't know what they are at the moment. There's a jump gate that I've just clicked on over there. It didn't look like one from where I was. It looks like it's broken though, so that's not going to do much. So you can see our next mission is to deploy a satellite. We have this sphere. If we press M to bring up the map as well. Oh, where are we? There we are. And what is this? Yeah, right mouse button to rotate the map around your position, or whatever it is you're focused on. So you can drop a satellite anywhere within this sphere. It doesn't matter too much, but we're pretty central, so that'll probably do us nicely. So if we press enter, it brings up the in-ship menu where you can configure what your weapons are configured to, and your secondary weapons, if you have any, which we don't. And up here we can get into different modes. So travel mode is your sort of short distance fast travel, not as in teleport, but make your ship go significantly faster. A couple of different scan modes. We can deploy military deployables, which are things like mines or turrets, and we can deploy civilian deployables, which are satellites, nav beacons, and resource probes. Satellites will give you a little bit of information on the sector it's being deployed in. Now, it probably doesn't count as our satellites. We're deploying it on behalf of the Terrans. But if we owned that, you can see here we have this little space around us, which is the area we have discovered. If we move away from here, it'll still be discovered, but it wouldn't automatically refresh any information that's in that area, such as if there are stations or trading or stuff going on. So if you put a satellite down, that area will remain updated. So that's what a satellite does when you are deploying your own one. What were the other ones? There was a nav beacon, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It just puts a little navigation point down that you can rename in case there's something interesting you want to come back to later. And a resource probe you deploy in resource areas, which we can't see any of at the moment. But if we were looking to do any mining, there might be some red or blue areas, and you can deploy the resource probe in those areas to see what resources are around and what their densities are and how easy they might be to mine. Right. Let's check on our wingmate. Has he got himself in trouble over here, is he? Space is to fire your primary weapons. You can have different weapon groups, as we said, but we've only got one weapon group, which has got all of our weapons on. Obviously, there are a number of different weapons. R is to fire your secondary weapons, if you have any. So they would be over here. That would be, like, obviously rockets and things like that. So your boost uses your shield, this blue bar, to boost, which is why we started going slower after a little bit of time, because we ran out of shield.
Diagnostics are taking a tad long on this one. You go on ahead. I'll catch up with you.
There's our wingmate. There's the satellite. We're going to approach a decrepit satellite now.
I guess we're supposed to show off our superior maneuvers to these useless tin cans.
Feedback forwarded.
Typical.
So we're almost up to this one. Perfect. It feels weird having a ship with no, like, cockpit components around.
Damaged, huh? You'll have to get out of your ship and repair it manually.
Don't hit it. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. So you can, as we mentioned earlier, as I said, you can start a game just floating in your spacesuit in space if that's something you really wanted to do to yourself. So you can get out of your ship and float around in your little spacesuit. So we need to get up, which I think is Control D. If you hover over any of these and there is a keyboard shortcut, it does tell you what that shortcut is, which is beautiful. So yeah, Control D. I'm going to try to get used to the shortcut so you can walk around the inside of your ship and see all these beautiful little things. The Vitruvian Man, for some reason, stenciled on the wall there. And if you come up to this panel here, left click on it with the mouse, you can go, this is like a elevator, but it's like, it's almost like a teleporter. It functions more like, and I think they are called that in stations. So you can stick in your current location, or we can use our spacesuit. And I'm going to click this, because when I was doing some of the training things, I had to hit confirm like 18 times in some of them. Yeah, that's an exaggeration, but yeah. Your spacesuit functions exactly the same way, except it doesn't have flight assist. So it is much more momentum based. So you still use the wheel to go forwards or backwards or whatever, but it does say it's momentum based movement. It's like you don't have the flight assist on your ship. So you just have to be aware of that, be a little bit careful of where you're trying to go. There is a boost as well. You can see we have one weapon at the moment, which is our repair tool. You press the same button to deploy it. I'm just going to line ourselves up slightly over there. You can see this is now getting repaired with this white bar.
satellite.
Well, it's repaired to 100%. Oh, there we go.
Mayday. We have a critical engine failure in Mars sector. Botany Club. Dead in the void. I repeat.
A distress signal. Mission Command, we have a civilian ship signaling distress from the outskirts of the sector. Apparently they're having some sort of emergency. Engine failure. Permission to investigate.
I was going to let them do their little talk.
Permission granted. Proceed with caution.
So to get back onto your ship, you do it the same sort of way you might get onto a station. You have to request permission. So right click on your ship or a station if that's what you were doing. You have to request docking permission, which I couldn't see for a moment. And it opens up and it shows you the route you need to take to get into. Obviously it's relatively simple from where we are here. But if we were approaching a station, it might be a little bit more convoluted to get to the landing pad. Maybe we'll get to that at some point.
Bukri.
Oh, definitely clipped that that satellite that I just repaired. So let's get ourselves up to speed, and then we're going to activate one of our other modes. So these are the modes that I showed you here: travel, scan, or long range. Scan is for scanning ships or asteroids. Long range is to discover long range things. So we're going to put on our long range scan with Shift and 3. And then if you hold down your secondary fire button, which is R for us, it charges up a scan. And if we let go, it'll pew, off it goes. So it looks like this is the ship that is in distress. If you overcharge your scan, it will fail to scan, but there's not a massive penalty for it. You just do the scan again shortly afterwards. We just do that. Boop. Yep, held it too long so we didn't get scanned, but straight away we can do another one. The longer you do hold it down for, the longer your scan will go. I don't know if we can really visually see that in the scan. Right, let's boost over here. So that will pick up things like stations or any other interesting things that are around. If there's a lockbox floating around in space, or other things that might exist that I have no idea about right now.
Oh, Xenon! Breaking formation!
N.
Alright, so I've targeted him by clicking on him. Our weapons will do a little bit of auto-targeting. You can see those 3 white dots floating around the screen. That's the auto-targeting. But you do have to point your ship in roughly the right direction. We're just playing like a jousting game. Oh, he's a bit more sensible.
Seriously? What the? Since when does Xenon send out fake distress signals?
I don't know if they dropped any goods. It might not matter at this stage of the game because we wouldn't be able to own it anyway. Perhaps anything we picked up would just go straight to the Terrans. It's a pretty nice looking ship. I mean, obviously it's broken. Imagine it wasn't broken.
Nelly, analysis.
Classification. High-tech trader. Crew. Deceased. Cargo. Classified. Reconstructing events. Processing. 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 Permission has been denied. Investigation terminated.
Interesting. Why is that?
That's quite enough. Our specialists will take over from here. And you, cadets, will hear from me shortly. Dismissed.
Well, I got a little achievement and 25,000 credits, which is over doubled my bank balance, so that's not too bad, is it?
I'm not seeing any reprimands in my profile. Let's find something else to do until Mission Command comes back to haunt us.
Yeah, let's investigate this ship. Oh, he's sticking with me. I don't know what's going on, mate.
Katana.
Who's that? Oh, is that Mission Command that's coming to investigate this ship? Because we're not allowed to. We do have one inactive mission. How would we get to that? Not that. Press M to bring the map up. Mission offers. It's not mission offers. Mission manager.
So let's summarize. Someone or something raided that trading vessel for highly.
Oh, we need to acquire a captain for our ship. Okay. We're not going to be able to do that right now. As you can see, there is a whole wealth of information and things you can do and look at and see. Set default behaviors for ships that you're not actively on.
Something's brewing.
What is... Oh, that's because that's the mission. That's where I am. Okay. Fair enough. So what are we going to do then? What if I try contacting this ship? Oh, no, I don't want to tell them to surrender. Okay, that's fine. Woohoo! I don't really know like how far we could go or what we could do. I guess
Unknown station.
Let's travel to one of these stations, right? Is that the only one we can click on? Are the other ones too far away? Yeah, let's travel to this unknown station and see what it is then, eh? So, quick travel is one, or the fast travel, the travel mode, I should say, yes. Ships are customizable as well. You can buy different components, different weapons, different engines for your ships. And obviously, if you're purchasing a new ship, you can pick that as well. There are a number of... Hold on a second. Oh, so the question marks are just the stations and things. Yeah, so let's go and figure out what these are. And you can see as we are traveling, we are discovering various little things that are around, ships that are traveling around. You can see in the background that one is getting relatively close now. Let's start thinking about slowing down. It's an orbital supply base. Ooh. Bunch of ships flying around over there. I don't know if an orbital supply base is going to have much for us, but you know what? Let's Oh, there it was. I couldn't see it.
Docking granted.
Let's request docking. So you can see the green lights have come up there to show us where we need to go. This will also show you how the docking and procedure works as well. You can get automated docking if you buy more advanced docking computers. What is... Hold up. What's this? Oh, it's just an informational display or an advert or something. I was like, oh, that might mean something very interesting. Right, hang on. Where? Up here. Oh, and then don't shoot the station. So you can see here it's showing us where we need to land. It's also showing us the orientation we should be in, which is facing in the other direction. And you can see it's brought up this little landing HUD for us, but we need to spin around. There should be one in front of us, like that, yes. So you basically need to get all of this perfectly aligned. So you need to be pointing towards that center bit there. You need to be perfectly aligned over this bit here. Also pretty much lined up there. And then come down and it will dock you. Although we came down a little sharply there, didn't we?
Successfully docked.
What I do in particular like about this compared to Elite so far is that the station designs aren't always the same. So in Elite you basically had the one station type, so the docking procedure was essentially the same all the time. They did do some smaller stations where you could dock externally, which also exists in X4 as well. But this is the first time I've seen a docking procedure where you come in like that. That's really interesting. So we can trade from here, which will be trading what's on our ship. We don't have anything. Stations will only buy certain things as well. So you can see here, this base here will only buy computronic substrate, silicon carbide, and medical supplies. But they are also they're pretty good with those. The blue and yellow circles show how much of them they have. So 3 circles means they are pretty well supplied. So they're probably not going to be too bothered about buying them. So if we were buying computronic substrate over here, you can see that we would buy it for 8,200 and we could sell it for 8,100. So because there is so little demand, we would actually be making a loss if we were to do that. Silicon carbide, yeah, the same, would be making a loss as well. And they don't even want the energy cells. But you can also buy these things from them should you want to. And there are different ways of filtering the trade. So you can filter by certain components. You can turn the trade off completely. There are filters up here, so you can say only look for people who are trading certain amounts or certain types, depending on the ship you're in. But let's get up.
Ukri.
Let's, how do I get out of the ship? Oh, there. Never been in this ship before, so I thought I had to use the same undocking thing. But no, the door just opened up. Look at this ship. I like it. I like that it's asymmetric, although it's odd and doesn't make a lot of sense, but I like it. I like how shiny it is. Have a little look at the engine. Oh, I love the tail coming around the engine as well, actually. Yeah, it's a nice ship. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. So, as you can tell, you can get up and walk around stations as well. There are going to be... This is where you do ship options. Renaming your ship or redesigning it or putting it into storage should you have more ships around. You can talk to some of these people as well, should you wish to. What do you have to say to us? So we could hire this Marine. We don't want a Marine, really. We want a captain. I don't know. I think you can put anyone in any position.
Good luck out there.
So it doesn't really matter that she's a Marine over a captain, but maybe we want to find some Marine.
Hello there.
Oh, they're all going to be Marines because it's it's an army base. But this one does have slightly better piloting skills and good morale. But she does cost 135,000 credits, which is why she has good piloting skills and morale. She is 13,000, so maybe we will just think about hiring whatever she was called. Zulan. Oh yeah, I always do this. Shift isn't running the game. Double tapping forward is running the game. Yeah, you're not very good. You're probably quite cheap as well, aren't you? Yeah, no, thank you. Good luck to you too. So not everyone, I don't think, is going to be someone you can hire. Although it's certainly seeming like that's the case. Like everyone around here is a hireable NPC. But are also quite expensive for us. I don't know if there is like an ongoing cost for NPCs. Oh, this one doesn't look like it's open. Oh, it is. Okay. Transporter room, that's what they call it. Yeah. So these are the various... You can generally walk around to these areas as well if you know your way around the station. There was one of the training missions where you had to walk to the trade corner. I couldn't figure out how to do it. Couldn't figure out how to do it at all. It does give you little guidance lines sometimes, like to try and help you get places, but they weren't working very well and I couldn't figure out. So you can see there's a number of things here. There's a couple of freighters we could travel to, should we wish to, or a resupply ship. I don't really want to travel to them. And on the station we have the engineering section, the manager's office, the security office, the luxury dock area, and the trader's corner. So let's just go to the trader's corner. Which they always look exactly the same, I think. Obviously the outside bit looks the same, but the layout here with the desk over to there and a crafting table over there is always pretty similar. I'm trying to see if this is anywhere near our actual ship. Could we just run here? Our little jump isn't going to help us find it. I don't know where our ship is. We can run around and find that in a minute. I keep pressing shift to run. So, as you might imagine, this is a trader. You can ask people where they can find various things, locations or factions or different types of stations. Like you could ask them where the nearest wharf is, which is what sells smaller and medium ships, or things like that. But show me your wares, please. What do you have? You have bandages, interface units, rare spices. These are spacesuit upgrades, so things that will go on your spacesuit and help you out very much. We already have... thrusters Mark II, which is pretty good actually, and a bomb launcher. Is that what that? No, that's the trader. I'm looking at the wrong thing. We have a repair laser and a spacesuit scanner. A hand laser wouldn't be a bad thing, but we can't afford that. Obviously, can't afford a lot of stuff. But a hand laser would help when it comes to opening up lockboxes. Using your ship's guns to open a lockbox is a bit cumbersome, and I have found out you will often just blow up the lockbox. That's the thing that happens. What else do we have? We have basic seminars. Those you use to upgrade your crew. So your crew will get better at things as they do them, I believe. But you could also buy a seminar. It doesn't give us a lot of information on it, but then you can give that to your crew in some manner to increase their skills in those areas. So I guess that would get them up to 1 star, and then this is a seminar for a 1 star. And then we have trade wares if we wanted to do a bit of trading, or if we had anything in our inventory that was worth selling. So we're not going to worry too much. Crafting wares you can see up there as well, you can buy those. So it is possible sometimes, I believe, to buy things here, go over to the crafting table.
Good luck out there.
Craft them, and then sell the crafted item back to him again.
Oh, looks like we're still in Mission Command's good books. They just sent us a posting for
There's not a lot we can do at the moment. I think you need to get blueprints for that sort of stuff. A new story mission is now available in the mission offers of your map menu. So that's over here. So we can see there are 2 missions available to us, actually. There is the important mission offer, which I'm guessing is the story mission, which is Defenders of Sol. Do you have what it takes to step forward and rise up to defend our pristine system and by extension the entirety of the Gate network? Are you ready to join the esteemed ranks of the Terran heroes of old and stop the Xenon menace dead in its tracks? Then High Command needs you to take part in Sol's newest outreach program and assist the Solborn militia in one of their legendary daring operations. So you have to escort a crucial route war support transport, deploy some mines, and patrol a militia outpost. Well, that just opens the same thing, just slightly bigger. If it had any more information, I guess it would go over there. Well, I think we have to do it, so we'll pick it up, certainly.
I figured you two would jump at this opportunity.
Oh, you know it.
Do not disappoint me.
Ma'am, understood.
I was just looking, there's no reward for us getting a captain, and I don't know if there's a lot of benefit to having a captain if you're going to be flying the ship around yourself anyway. Not entirely sure either way. But as there's no reward, we won't pick one up quite yet. So there are a couple of other missions that have popped up. A medium mission which is timed to 2 hours. Where we would need to get all of a station's resources, its energy cells, ice, protein paste, and Terran MRE above 70%. So that's an interesting one. It's way beyond us at the moment, because I don't know what a ship's capacity is, but I'm guessing we can't carry like 20, 30, 40% of a station's required supplies of all of those things at once. Because you could try and do it piecemeal, like just keep taking energy cells back and forth to get that above 70%, and then doing the ice, etc, etc, etc. The problem being, as you're doing that, the station is using those things to produce whatever kind of station it is. It's a medical supply station, so whatever sort of medical supplies it's creating, it's doing that as you're going back and forth, bringing these items in and out. So if you can't bring in enough of these things to satisfy this criteria and keep it above that, so until you can get all 4 of them there, you'll just never manage to do the mission. And you've only got 2 hours to do it. And I'm guessing if you fail it, your stand-in with that faction will go down. So not entirely keen on that mission. This mission is hard and has up to 18 million credits as a reward, which is very good. We need to buy a plot. Oh yeah, we need to buy a plot and build a defensive platform station in that plot. With 3 defense modules, a dock, a pier, 20 turrets, and 4 shield generators. I'm going to go ahead and suggest that just maybe we cannot afford to do that now. Oh, not only can we not afford to do it, but we're just, it's so far beyond us. Like buying a piece of space and then building a defense station on there. It's a massive, massive mission. But there is this one here. Unexpectedly Trapped, which is easy and 43,000 credits, which sounds like it's a bit more within our sort of realm, doesn't it? One of our ships was scouting an area for resource fields and they unwittingly found themselves trapped in a minefield. This comes as very troubling news since the Terran Protector has no explanation how the mines came to be there. Rescuing our ship if you want to, our concern that is, if you want to make some money. We can do that.
Mission interrupted. New mission activated.
So it looks like it's in this sector as well. So if we go over to our managed missions. Yeah, this one is in this sector over here. So actually if we go over there to do this one, We can then go to the accelerator. So that's not a jump gate. There are different forms of fast travel in the game. So there is the base sort of fast travel mode, whatever they call it. What do they call it? Well, we can't see it because we're not on our ship. But the one that you get through that menu there, where your ship just goes a little bit faster. Do we go left or right? Let's go this way. There are jump gates, which are instant teleportation points between sectors generally. Oh, that's the end of it. So it's definitely the other way. Okay, it was 50-50 and we got it wrong. There are highways, which are things which make you move very, very fast along a fixed line. So if we look at the map again there, you can see there's another one up there. Well, these are accelerators, sorry, but same sort of deal. So this will move you in this from there to there very fast. Highways are like blue roads that you stick to, and there are also local highways as well. They have slightly different names, but essentially do the same thing. One of them you can join at any point. The other one you have to go through its entrance gate, I believe. But yes, there are certain areas where there'll just be like a super highway loop going through several sectors. So that can be quite good apparently for just looking for different missions or keeping an eye out for things as you're traveling around. Just sit on that and admire the view and keep an eye out for things. Now, I don't know how big this station is or how long it might take us to get to our ship.
Hello there.
Hello. Hopefully not too... Oh, this is a dead end again. So it must be in different segments. So we can't actually get to our ship by running. So we couldn't have got to the trade thing for running. So what I said before, where I said, oh, you can basically get to anywhere just by running around. That's a lie. As I said, I haven't really played the game all that much beyond the tutorials. What I did play was a long time ago. So any knowledge I have is long since past my memories. So we can have 3 crew on this ship. Where do they go? There's 1 seat and nothing else. Where do the crew go? Oh, I've got no idea. That's crazy. Control, or is that shift? No, sorry, Shift D to undock. So that's just undock. And then we'll slightly gently fly out of here. And then we'll boost once we're clear of the station. Perfect. Right, so I'm guessing this broken jump gate is probably related to a previous version of the game. Or previous storyline of the game, I should say. So we're going to go over there.
Follow gas.
It is 125 kilometers away. So we do want to do the fast travel, or the travel mode. There is also an autopilot, which I've just enabled. So that will take you to places via the best route it thinks is available. Is there anything we're passing on the way? I should look at as well. Not that I can see. There's no other. The other bases are up in that direction. There is another one down here that we can check out once we've done this. Bit of a cough. What was I saying? Autopilot, yeah, so if we autopiloted over here, the autopilot would know to use this accelerator to go here and then move over there. If there's a highway, it will join the highway for the appropriate amount of time. It's relatively good at traveling around on its own. It's not very good, apparently, in asteroid fields, so don't try to use autopilot through an asteroid field. I suspect you will smash into things and blow up pretty quickly. So you can see we are now traveling at 2,100 meters a second, and we are rapidly approaching into this mined ship. We'll have to be a little bit... I think the autopilot would stop us before we get to there, because it's on autopilot rather than just me having to rely on myself stopping the ship when we get there.
Autopilot disengaged.
What I would be concerned with is the fact that it's surrounded by a minefield and the autopilot might try and take you too close. And the mines are moving.
Emergency eject successful.
And I haven't saved the game at any point. And I think you do go into your spacesuit, as it says, but I must have either had so little oxygen for some reason, or I must also have been hit by a mine in my spacesuit. So that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate, and we didn't save the game at any point, and it doesn't seem to auto-save. There is a continue game option. Wonder where that takes us. Oh, it takes us to this screen here, because that is where it's going to continue. What a hilarious way to, to die. Got a mission to blow up some mines. Oh, I did. Technically, I did blow up a couple of the mines at least. I wonder if they were moving because they were being attracted to my ship. There are different types of mines. So some of them are dumb mines that will just sit there until someone hits them. Yes, no, I definitely don't have anything to load, so we're going to have to start that again. Ooh, okay. Right, well, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we're largely back to where we were, except we haven't had the actual story mission pop up. Oh, we have had it pop up. Oh, I take it back. We'll accept that one then. Perfect. We've got a couple of other missions here. Transport off the station. Fly to an unknown station. There's no time, so I'm going to accept that one.
Knew I could count on you.
Mission interrupted. New mission.
And hired
activated.
help. Fix some problems around a station. Do you know, I'm going to accept that one as well. I'm just going to accept everything for now. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. So we've accepted all of those now, so they should all be in these. They are perfect. The mining mission didn't come back up. What I did instead pick up was this one here, to deploy 8 laser towers in this area over here. So this is the one that I was sort of working towards. I've docked at the Terran Wharf, which is, we docked here before the orbital supply base and then went down here and then got blown up. So I've docked at the Terran Wharf up here because I had to look up where you buy laser towers from. So I was checking all the trade things, and obviously laser towers aren't within here. What you have to do to get laser towers or other deployables is if you go into upgrade, repair, dock ships. This is obviously where you'd be able to upgrade or repair your ship if that's what you wanted to do. So we've got an all-round engine at the moment. Probably don't want that. We probably want a combat engine, to be honest, rather than the all-round. Because why would we want an all-round engine? We want combat because we're a combat ship. But anyway, you can do thrusters, you can do shield generators. You've got weapons, software. So this is where you have the docking computers that help you do automated docking or those sorts of things. Trading computer, I assume, is automated trading. I don't really know. A police scanner. Sounds illegal. Awesome. Long-range scanner Mark II, I assume, is a long-range scanner. You can also hire some crew should you wish as well, directly from that point. But what we want, though, are consumables. We need laser towers, and we need 8 of them. Whoa, that's way too many. We need 8 of them, which is going to cost us 74,000, and I think we get about 100,000 as a reward for the job, so not a massive amount, but a little bit. So you can see here some of the mines I was talking about. There are different sorts of mines. So we've got a standard mine, which will attack anything, or friend or foe, which will only attack things which are marked as your enemies, or a tracker mine, which I assume is maybe the ones we saw, which I assume sort of fly towards you and blow up in your face if you get too close to them. And the different sorts of probes we talked about before. I don't know the difference between an advanced and a standard satellite. I'm guessing the advanced possibly has a longer range on it. Don't really know. Anyway, we want to buy 8 laser towers. We are going to add them to our shopping list. And then we are going to confirm order. Oh, we're not, because we don't have enough money. Hilarious. Hilarious. So we can't do that at the moment. So let's come out of that. So we needed like 70 grand, right? And we've got 40. So let's go and do one of these. This one's pretty close to go pick the guy up, so we'll set this one to active. Sounds very much like a... Yeah, I was going to... Oh, no, that's not. That's a... Sounded like a big ship landed near us, but I can't see anything now. So we'll Shift D to undock. Can we get out that side?
Looks like
I think
we're
so.
still in Mission Command's good books. They just sent us a posting for a border assignment.
I think that's the one I already picked up.
I figured you two would jump
Yep.
at this opportunity. Do not disappoint me.
Ma'am, understood.
I'm not going to disappoint you, but it's going to take me a while to get there.
Orbital supply base.
So let's...
Docking granted.
Woo!
Docking aborted.
I overshot that by a country mile. Let's make our way back over there. There's also
Maintenance vessel.
a maintenance vessel which is hostile. probably doesn't have a lot of weapons, you'd have thought, being a maintenance vessel. Oh god, our standard speed is so slow. We do need to be careful not to shoot the station. That would cause us no end of problems. That went down easy. We didn't get anything for that. I assume that would give us something for helping. You can scan stations, I should point out as well. So if we go into our standard scanner mode,
Orbital supply base.
you can see we have scanned 56% of it. I don't know what you really get for scanning it, to be honest. You can find little thing. Oh, hello. Little things around, like data leaks. Is that? I think that's just a bit of debris, isn't it? Yeah, no. You can find things called data leaks, which might give you random little job offers, or they might give you some insider trading information. Oh, there we go. Did we get something for that? Did we get something for that? Maybe 500 credits? Yes. Data leaks. That's what we were talking about. So data leaks, you come up next to them. You go into your not short range scanning mode.
Orbital supply base.
And get close to it.
Are you interested in a job?
There we go. And it's a job. Let's see what this is. I need a fast ship and a good pilot to get me away from this station as quickly as possible. Doesn't really matter where I end up as long as no one finds me before I get there. Can I count on your help? Fly to the Terran Wharf. That's like literally just around the corner. Yeah, we'll accept that one as well.
I can count on you.
I mean, I just pressed all the wrong buttons. So I did shift 1, so I went into travel mode, so I was traveling way too fast. And then panicked and didn't know how to stop, so I just smashed the space bar. That was a disaster in all sorts of ways. Anyway, data leaks. It's nice that popped up. I don't know why I'm traveling. Stop traveling. It's because I pressed tab that time. Mission manager. Oh, that one is 40,000, which would pretty much give us enough, I think, wouldn't it? Okay, yeah, okay. Let's have a go at this one then. So let's request docking again.
Docking granted.
Where is it taking us? It's very difficult to tell from here. Inside here, I think, but obviously not going through there. There it is. There is a speed limit inside station, so if you look, even though we're going in at 100 odd meters per second, it slows us down as soon as we get inside. So let's get ourselves lined up and to go forward a little bit and then down. Perfect.
Successfully docked.
We're pleased to welcome you aboard.
Nope. Oh, you clown. Press the wrong button. You might have guessed.
Docking granted.
What's the get up button again? Control D, not Shift D is to undock. Control D to stand up from your seat. It's not at all confusing. She is down there somewhere. She is. Where is she? Oh, so we're in the luxury dock area. She's in the S luxury docking bay, I think. Okay. Hey,
Hello.
Bella. Please come aboard. I don't know if we have to wait for her or if she will... Can we just run there? Is it within running distance? Oh, it is. Or if she would just be there when we take off. Could be risky just to take off without her. Gonna get stuck on that. What is that? I guess it's like a refueling pipe. Yes, we need to wait for the passenger to arrive before we go anywhere, which is reasonable. So my original plan to play like a few hours and compress it down into a single video has failed miserably. Miserably. We will finish off this mission because we don't have to get very far. I think she's just going over here. So we'll set that maybe as our guidance. Whilst we wait for her to join us. I mean, where is she? Come on now. I thought you were in a rush. You do not seem like you're in a rush. Sauntering along. At least give me a fast walk. What you call Clara? I've forgotten your name already. You're just a nameless entity to me. Bella. That's close. Ended it in a sound. Slightly jittery walk, and some of the facial animations when they're talking aren't fantastic, but at the end of the day, it's an open universe space game, not really designed first and foremost to be looking at people and talking to them. And then, you know, Starfield had its own problems as well, and that comes from a much bigger company, so can't say too much about it.
Ship and ready to go.
Oh.
Ukri.
Well, I wondered where the staff or the crew would go. That answers that question, doesn't it? So before we fly out, let's just set that one to active. Make sure it is going to that one. It is.
Autopilot engaged.
If I just enable autopilot, will it just take me straight there and I won't have to do anything? I think that might be the case, you know. I also think we might get attacked as we get there. Just from the wording of the mission. It is a very easy mission, though, but that might just be because of the distances involved. You're a bit hasty with your travel mode there, autopilot. Calm it down, son. Calm it down. Try again. Oh, that's our mate. I panicked for a second. I was like, oh, we're about to be mincemeat. This dude's going to destroy us. I can't see anyone on the... I can't remember what they call it. The heliopause, whatever the little sort of map thing down there is. Can't see anyone physically coming in. Oops, excuse me. It's going to smash my my microphone.
Terran Wharf.
I do find that sometimes it just doesn't want me to steer the ship. Like right now I feel like I'm... There we go. Locked out of steering. But we're back. We're back. Is it in here? Yes. I do like how the flight feels in this game. It's like that you've got your flight assist computer, which sort of reduces a lot of the momentum that you'd have in sort of true space flight, if you like. But it does feel like you can just sort of power slide around corners if you're doing it right. It feels good. I like it a lot. There we go. So this should be the mission. She should then...
Great work.
Control D to get up. So she should...
Pleased to welcome you aboard.
Permission to dock. Docking permission granted.
I don't know how far she has to get before it classes as the end of the mission, but that should be it, right? Is that a toilet over there? Is that what that is? I need her to complete the mission so I can have money. Give me money. Oh, you get these walkways on summer stations, look, which are really cool. And whatever is going on over there. What has happened there? It feels like it's just loading it in, doesn't it? It's just like painting in little bits. Is it maybe... Oh, this is a wharf. It's building it. It's building the ship. We are watching a ship get built. That's what's happening. That's super cool. That's super cool. Right, it said news update, which I assume applies to the missions. So does that... Looks like it's completed. Yeah, 79,000 credits. It did complete. Is that enough? I think that is enough to get the laser turrets.
Ukri.
So if we unrepair, or unrepair, don't unrepair a ship, that's a terrible thing to do. Consumables, laser towers, 8, 72,000. Add to shopping list, confirm order. We have to wait a few seconds. Oh, that ship's already been built, look. Oh, that's cool. It's cool we got to watch that happen. So we should now have 8 laser drones. So if we go to our missions, an aggressive suggestion, it is already set as the act. Oh, it's not. Now it is set as the active mission. We will autopilot over there. I can't wait to get a bigger ship. That's going to be class. Have like a little fleet of traders go. I don't know like how quickly you can jump into that stuff. Like, can I just ignore the main mission and just start building up my empire, or does the game get annoyed if I'm like, it's asking me to go in, like defend some paltry ship, and I turn up in like a Battlestar Galactica style cruiser which just annihilates everything. Right, so we're going to travel over here, drop these lasers, and that will be, what is it, 110,000? So it'll be another 20 odd thousand. So it should put us around 100,000 credits. And bearing in mind we started on 15, that's not bad. That's not bad. What's that? That's not 7 times as many credits. My maths is not great. That would be 70 and 5 times 7, which is 35. Yeah, almost then. Almost 7 times. 6 and a bit times. So we are heading pretty much towards this jump gate up here. What I could be doing whilst we're doing this, I suppose, is some long-range scans. Oh, no, I can't, because I can't fast travel whilst I'm scanning, and because I have autopilot on it, automatically disabled the scan to continue moving. It's a shame you cannot scan and fast travel at the same time. It might show us anything else interesting that's around this area. A couple of ships popping up on the map. A patrol carrier. It's this dude over here, I guess. He's suitably beefy. Oh, he's like the what sort of look a little bit like the one that got blown up, that trade ship. Same sort of style to him. So we're going to put laser towers around the entrance to this accelerator, because that seems mean as anything.
Solar power plant.
Ah, there's a solar power plant over there as well. So if we I turned the trade off so I could see what was going on. Yeah, so this one. Ooh. Try that again. Yeah, you can buy energy cells for 9 credits. So if there's something which wanted to buy energy cells, so this one wants to buy energy cells for 19 credits. So we could buy energy cells here for 9 credits and ship them over there and sell them for double the price. We'll take them down there where they have fewer of them, but they will only give you 17 credits instead. So that could, there's a little back and forth trading route going on there. There are ways to automate trade, like I said. So if we owned another ship that was just in this area, we could right click on that ship and we could say orders. Go over here and buy the cells and then micromanage it, selling it over here as well. Or you could just say, as a behavior.
We'll be scanning your inventory.
Okay, no worries. In this area, buy energy cells and sell them within like this sphere of influence sort of thing, and it'll just automatically go off and do its little trading thing, and that's it. So you can automate all that stuff, obviously, which is great. Let's just take another look at the map just so I can make sure I am pretty solidly within this sphere. I am. Now, I don't think it matters whereabouts in this sphere we put these. I'm just going to go up to like 10 meters per second, and then we're going to deploy a laser tower Mark 8. Mark 1. I'm just going to deploy them all down. It's a fairly useless deployment, I would imagine, because they're just all in a line. There they are. Looking good. Looking good. Well, that's brought us up to 125,000 credits. More than I thought we were going to get. That's not bad at all, is it? I've changed my view rotation, which confused me massively. We probably want to start heading back down towards this way, because that's where the main mission is, however. So I had a phone call come in, so I completely forgot what I was saying. Completely forgot. One thing to mention, though, if you do pick up the game, is that you can pause the game. It might seem like it's paused initially when you get the game, when you go into maps and menus and stuff, because the game will stop you from moving. It will kill your engines. You can change that in the game settings. So as you've seen, as I've been flying around, I've been looking at the map and checking for missions as my ship is moving. I think that's a massive quality of life improvement right there. What is this that just seems to be out in the middle of nowhere, and why did I manage to scan it? That's interesting. I have also changed the autosave settings. By default, it saves every 40 minutes or so. You can also autosave with an F5 as well, that I should probably do. I have changed the autosave down to 10 to 20 minutes. Although saying that, I haven't seen it do an autosave. And as you can see, the save does seem to be quite noticeable. So I don't know if it has been autosaving or not. But yes, one thing to note is that you can pause the game. It is the pause break key, so the game is now paused. So you could pause the game if you had a massive fleet involved in some huge attack. You could give them all different orders or whatever, and then pause break. I saw someone mention in a video, which is the only reason I know about it, because I haven't looked through the controls. Probably should, but I haven't. And they were like, it's the only game in the world they know of which actually utilizes the pause key on a keyboard to pause the game.
Kyushu.
What on earth just happened there? Is that what they look like when they come through? No, they're just spawning out of nowhere. Maybe that's what it looks like when they come out of the accelerator. I don't know. Anyway, that seems like a pretty good place to stop. I've got literally no idea how long the video is going to be, because I've been wittering on for like an hour and a half now, but I know there have been a bit of dead air whilst I was on the phone call and redoing the entire beginning of the game, because I blew myself up with the mind like an idiot. But yeah, so not at all what I was planning on doing for X4. Not quite the compressed 4 to 5 hours of gameplay into a 1 hour video, so you can see everything in a sort of a shorter time frame. I got myself very distracted because there's just quite a lot going on. But that is X4. I hope I've given you a fairly good overview of the sorts of things the game can do. I know we haven't done it, but we've touched on trade and combat. We did a little bit of combat. Looked to trade but didn't really do any. I showed you the crafting table, all the different things we can do, the ship upgrades as well. The only thing we haven't looked at is buying a ship. So where there is a way, I'm sure. Yeah, if you go over here and say buy ship, you can look at this remotely. So a wharf only sells small to mediums. We've got heavy fighters, scouts, miners, and couriers. I'm guessing the courier is the closest thing a small ship has to a trader. Where does it say? Yeah, so container storage 4,100 to Honda. Kukri, which is what we are, has 140. So that's a pretty massive advance on that. You can see that this does have mandatory upgrades. So there are things you have to buy for certain ships. Right now, for example, it doesn't have an engine. We need to buy it an engine of some form. We would probably want a travel engine for it. So let's just go and have a quick spec up. I know it's going to be more than we can afford because the chassis is 270 grand. But I'm just thinking if we could get this and it's sending 4,000 energy cells back and forth and it's making 40,000 a time. That wouldn't last, by the way, because if you mentioned at the very beginning, it is a dynamic economy, so the price would fluctuate depending on the requirements. We need some thrusters. It wants us to have the flight assist software. It needs long-range scanners. It needs a basic scanner, and it needs a trading computer, I guess, because it is a trading ship. And it also requires a pilot. That is mandatory for this ship. So all in, it would cost us 350,000 credits. And we could also rename the ship as well, should we want to. You can also save these as loadouts. So if we had a certain type of ship that we knew we were going to be building a fair bit of with this very specific configuration, you can save it as a loadout. So you can just select it from here. Right now we can just select medium, high, and low for it. which gives it flares and crewmen and costs costs over $1 million. Costs 1.2 million. But that does appear to be the cheapest sort of. So this is a very similar ship, but this is a miner ship. So this one has a space for a weapon, so you can put on. I don't know where mining weapon. Oh, there we go, mining drills. So you're able to put on a mining drill there, which I don't know if the drill is a long-range weapon. Drill certainly doesn't sound like it, but if it's not a long-range weapon, then that is a terrible place to put it. But there we go. So anyway, that's how we go about looking at ships. So there might be some in here that are, like, how much is ours? Well, ours is actually 350,000. I was just seeing if there are any, like, cheapy ships that maybe we could just pick up and just say, go around and do some stuff, but there isn't. We don't really have enough money for that at all. And then you get into the medium ships, and we're looking at, beefy little things now. We're looking at beefy little things now. And the minimum preset is 2.8 million for this. What else we got? A gunboat, just covered in turrets, I guess. A corvette. A gas miner. I don't think we really touched on it, but yes, you can mine gas and solid materials. You can also have transporters, which are set up to do solid, gas, or liquid storage as well. Oh, as it says down here, actually, look. Yeah, so this is, assume solid storage. Maybe it's just because it's container storage, right? So I suppose containers is like wares you would pick up. Solid would be like raw materials, ores. Liquid storage is liquid, and condensate, I guess, is gas. Yeah, so that would be the next transporter up, and that's minimum out is 800,000. But it would be able to carry 10,000 at a time. Anyway, I'm just waffling on. I just want to play more. That's what I want. That's what it comes down to. I want to play more. So we're going to put another save in there so I know where it is. If you would like to see more, if you've enjoyed this, hit the like button, comment, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. If you guys don't really want to see more, it may be that I do more on the channel anyway, or I'll probably just go off and play some on my own because I do want to get into this quite badly. I really want to get into X4 deeply and have a massive empire. So let me know if that's something like you'd want to see. Hopefully I will see you in that. If not, I will see you when I stream on Wednesdays at 7:30 PM UK time, or if in none of those things, just in some other magical adventure. And as always, thank you very much for joining me.